Now, question, is this animal, mineral, vegetable, or human? Human. In fact, let's go back even earlier. Let's go back to when your mother and your father got together. Have you guys had this talk before? I see some young people, so I'll try and be discreet. When your mother and your father got together, your mother unconsciously perfumed her egg. And then your father sent the entire population of the United States, 300 million soldiers, toward your mother's egg. And then there was a race. And you won. Don't let anyone ever tell you you're not special. You beat out 300 million others. You have blown away anything Michael Phelps has done. Now, seeing some of you limping here earlier makes it hard for me to believe you were the fastest soldier in the gene pool. But you were. Now, your soldier was 20 to 30 times smaller than a grain of salt, yet it contained half of the genetic information that makes you you. And your mother's egg was about the size of a period at the end of a sentence in an average book, and it contained the other half of the genetic information that makes you you. And when your soldier and your egg came together, a new 100% genetic human being was created. You know, you have not received any more genetic information from that point till right now. Your genetic information has just duplicated itself. In fact, there were only 4 things separating you from adulthood: time, air, water, and food. Those are the same 4 things that separate a 2-year-old from adulthood. Does this have implications on the abortion issue? Of course it does. We don't kill the 2-year-old. Why do we kill the unborn child in the womb? Genetically, it's the same. You say, Frank, we can't legislate morality. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And it turns out that's the only thing you can legislate. All right? But let's get back to this. From that point to right now, there was an astonishing construction project that began. Cells began multiplying at a rate of 4,000 cells per second. Brain cells began multiplying at a rate of 100,000 cells per second. For most of you, anyway. Some cells became brain cells. Other cells became heart cells. Other cells became lung cells. How did they know how to do this? Nobody knows. Some cells went so far across you to become what they needed to become that it would be equivalent to you today walking across the United States alone. And that construction project continues to this day. You just made 4 million new red blood cells. You just made another 4 million new red blood cells. You just made another 4 million new red. Knock it off. How do you know how to do this? Are you thinking there going, got to make more red blood cells? Hang on, hang on. You know, how is this happening? You know how this is happening? We're going to talk about this a little bit in the third service on Sunday. It's happening because nature is goal-directed. And it's goal-directed because there's an external intellect directing it toward an end. And that's what we mean by God. He doesn't just create the universe, he sustains it. All of nature is going toward a direction, including the laws of nature themselves. Atheists are always talking about, well, you got the laws of nature. Where do the laws of nature come from? They're laws. Laws come from lawgivers. So there really is a being out there that created and sustains all.